Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome to this week's Sup Saturdays. So in the last one I mentioned that eventually I would do a Sup Saturdays episode completely based on the diet that I have been on for probably over 2 years by now. So for those of you that do not know, pretty much my entire life I was very overweight, and in high school it ramped up very fast and I became pretty much obese. Yeah, more than obese. I think my highest weight, there's a hair in my mouth. My highest weight was like around 300 pounds, like 275 or something like that. And so the diet that I'm going to be talking about helped me lose pretty much all of that weight, go back down to 200. I don't think my body type could ever go lower than 200. So I'm 100% fine with that. That's not a problem at all. But yeah, basically for the first time in my life after being on this diet, I was actually like a normal weight, which is incredible. It's an incredible feeling. So this is going to be a long Sup Saturdays, and it's going to go over pretty much what I do on a day-to-day basis, what I've been doing for the past 2 years, and how you can do it. And if you're serious about losing weight, and you have to be serious, trust me, you have to be serious. That's one thing I learned very early on. You will lose weight too. This might not work for everyone. It might actually sound unhealthy to certain people, but all I'm saying is it worked for me, and it will work for you if you stick to what I'm going to tell you to do. So the majority of this diet comes from the slow carb diet, which is in the book The 4-Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. I'm not plugging that book at all. I'm just telling you exactly what you need to know. You can get the book if you want to really like read the chapter about weight loss, because it's about different stuff. It's not just about weight loss, but you can get the book if you would like to really go in depth. I mean, I would definitely suggest it if you're serious about this, but you also just need the information that I'm going to be telling you in this video. So, but the thing is, over the course of these 2 years, I've changed that diet into what works for me. So a lot of the stuff that I do is not the same with the book, but it still works. So the first thing that I want to talk about is that if you think that it's impossible to lose weight like I did for the majority of my life, you are wrong, okay? You have to understand I'm a very lazy individual, and I was overweight my entire life, like I said, up until maybe 2 years out of getting out of high school once I started the diet. I'm not exactly sure what the time frame is, but you have to understand I always thought it was absolutely impossible to lose weight, or at least get down to a decent size. The reason I started this diet is because my stepdad had the book, he read it, he wanted to lose weight, and one day after he did it for a while, I noticed that he actually did lose weight. I remember I was sitting on the couch, I looked up, he was walking in the hall, and I was like, wow, Steve actually lost a whole bunch of weight, and that's what got me started on the diet. Now, I will be honest, the first time I maybe lasted a week and then stopped. When I tried again, I lasted maybe a month and stopped, and then the third time was the charm, and that's the time that I stuck with it for like 2 years straight. Now, you have to understand, it didn't take me 2 years to lose the weight. It was probably like 1 year for me to go down to my lowest weight. The thing was that a lot of people say that once you are on the diet for a long time, it changes into what you do for like on a daily basis. It just becomes like a lifestyle change, and I was always incredulous to that at first, but that's really honestly what happens. So yes, it is not impossible to lose weight, and trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. You just have to believe me on that. If you follow what I'm going to tell you to do, you will 100% lose weight. And by the way, I know I'm sounding a lot like I'm selling something right now. I'm not. This is the information that I have to relay to you. Trust me, there's not going to be anything at the end of this video that's going to be like, so for only, $39.99 a month, blah, 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 blah. No. And just in case I wasn't clear earlier, I have no affiliation with Tim Ferriss at all. I read the book. It worked for me. This is why I'm relaying that information onwards. So here we go. What is the slow carb diet? There's like 4 or 5 rules. Again, this is why I suggest you get the book, because I'm not going to remember every single thing that he talks about. Actually, that book is back in Florida with my mom and stepdad, so a lot of the things I will talk about, I'm not exactly 100% sure, in accordance to what he says in the book, but I just know for certain what I do. So the first thing is eat 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up. Now, I try to get as close as possible to 30 grams. I don't. And by the way, what waking up means to me is actually getting out of bed. Sometimes we wake up and we're aware and we like to chill in bed for like another, 30 minutes or whatever. And I'm not going to stop that thinking like, oh crap, I got to get up and eat the protein. No, I basically wake up and I chill in bed as long as I want to. And when my feet touch the ground, that's when I go out and get ready to eat the protein. Now 30 grams can actually be pretty hard to consume, and I am incredibly lazy, like I mentioned, so I'm not going to wake up every single day and cook eggs. So what I do, and I'm going to run through what I eat on a day-to-day basis later on, but what I do is I eat one of these a day, like within 30 minutes of waking up. You can see it has 20 grams, it's not quite 30, but basically if you're like me, I just want something fast that I can eat like immediately, and so I eat these, and I try and go as high on the protein as possible while going as low on the sugar as possible. So it's got 2 grams of sugar. This is like the best combination of protein and sugar that I've found. So I don't know if you guys want to get this specific brand, but it's worked for me, and I've been eating these for a very, very long time. So the point of eating 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up is to boost your metabolism. That gets your body working like immediately. Obviously, eggs are probably the best choice. I think he says in the book that egg whites are better than eating eggs without the yolks, but that creates or eating eggs with the yolks, but that creates a lot of eggs, because I don't know if you've ever tried making egg whites, but it takes a lot of eggs to get a decent amount. So I don't know how much 30 grams of egg whites is in terms of protein, but these protein bars work for me. So the next rule is the pretty big one. There's no grains, no carbs, no dairy, no fruit, and no sugar. That's kind of misleading because there's carbs in a bunch of stuff. There's carbs in vegetables, obviously. But basically what this means is no bread. Doesn't matter if it's whole grain. Doesn't matter if it's whole wheat. No bread, no tortillas, no chips, no popcorn, no corn. Pretty much anything that you like. I'm sorry, you just can't eat it. By the way, don't be scared off just yet. There's going to be something that I'm going to be talking about where you can eat this sort of stuff. So just wait for that. But yeah, no bread, no tortillas, no chips. I'm trying to think of other stuff. No pasta. Pretty much anything that has grains in it. Pretty much anything that is very high on carbs. You do not want to eat that stuff at all. Dairy, pretty much same thing. Anything that involves dairy, any cheese, any milk. What else does dairy encompass? I don't know, but anything that has dairy in it. There are some exceptions to these rules, and you can find those online if you want to. I know you can eat like cottage cheese. It's not stuff that's tasty though. So yeah, I just tend to completely avoid grains and dairy. Fruit is because fruit has a lot of sugar in it, and some people might disagree with that. Obviously, a lot of people think fruit is healthy, and I'm sure it is on a balanced diet or whatever. But I was never big on fruit anyway, so this wasn't an issue for me at all. But in the book, he says that fruit has a lot of sugar, maybe even a certain type of sugar that metabolizes very quickly into glucose. I'm not exactly sure on the science, but yeah, you're not supposed to eat any fruit as well, which includes fruit drinks and sugar. So sugar is, we all know what sugar is, but it extends into a lot of things like salad dressing, just a lot of stuff. So yeah, I completely 100% avoid grains, carbs, dairy, fruit. Sugar is the one thing that I don't necessarily completely avoid, just because it makes things so much more difficult if you're trying to completely 100% avoid sugar. That being said, I don't eat like candy. I don't eat straight up sugar. I don't eat or I don't drink sodas. I don't eat anything that has a giant amount of sugar in it. I pretty much avoid anything that has high fructose corn syrup. The only thing I'm trying to think that I will allow is like if I go out and get barbecue, it's going to have that sauce on it, and barbecue's not the same without that sauce. But you have to understand, that's the one thing. That and alcohol, which I'll talk about later, are the two things that I give any leeway on. Everything else I am 100% avoiding. Okay, so next we have eat the same meals every day. So from what I understand, he wants you to eat like every 4 hours. So that's like 4 meals a day. I don't do that. I wake up, I eat at like 10 to 11. I eat the protein bar, and I'm going to run through exactly what I eat later. But then I eat at 3, and then I eat at 7 usually. There is spouts of hunger in between those times, but that's what you're going to expect. You're actually, in the book, he says that you're actually going to feel true hunger for the first time, and it's a very weird feeling being an American, always being able to eat whatever you want when you want, to feel actual hunger, and it's your body telling you that you're actually hungry and you should eat. It's a very crazy experience if you were overeating as much as I was. So basically the goal here is to eat the same small meals every single day. I forget exactly why. I know it works, but I forget exactly why. I think it's just because your body gets used to digesting those meals every day, and it works with the cheat day, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, this is why when I explain what I eat every day, it's usually just the same exact thing every single day for every meal. So this is a rule I added. I don't remember if he talks about drinking water in the book. He probably does, but this is just something that I added to my diet. I drink 2 cups of water before every single meal, and if I'm eating like out at a restaurant or at fast food or something, I will go back home and make up for that lost water. Like, I will always make sure to drink 2 generous cups of water for each meal. And honestly, from what I understand, that's even less than what you're supposed to be drinking day to day normally. But that's what I do. And basically, the ruling behind that is that, number 1, water is healthy for you, obviously. But number 2, when you drink water, you feel full faster, so you have a less chance to overeat. But that's just what I do, just to get some more water into my diet. The final stipulation we have is the best one, and the one that makes this diet workable. I hope you've stuck out to this point, because if you just shut the video off going, this is not going to work, you're going to miss the best part, and that's to have a cheat day once a week. So on this cheat day, you can literally eat whatever you want and as much as you want of it for the entire day. There is absolutely no guilt involved, because it's actually built into the diet itself, and it will help you lose weight. I know that sounds impossible. I'll explain why later, but now I'm actually going to go through what I eat normally for the diet on a day-to-day basis. Alright, so I wake up. As soon as my feet touch the ground, I have 30 minutes to eat as close to 30 grams of protein as possible. Now, you want to shoot for 30, but, you know, I'm way too lazy to cook every single morning, so what I do, again, is I eat one of these, and it's good, too, because this specific brand comes with 6, and 6 days out of the week, you're eating on the diet, and so the last day is your cheat day, so it's perfect. You just buy one of these a week. Protein bars are expensive, but it's just what works for me. So, within 30 minutes of my feet touching the ground after waking up, I eat one of these. After that, and that's usually, again, around 10 to 11 a.m., after that, I will wait till around 3 p.m., and I will eat some Oscar Mayer deli meat. What I buy is, like, I think it's called oven roasted or something like that, turkey. And I know Oscar Mayer is not the best company, believe me, I know that, but they have this mega pack for like $7 or $8 that has a lot of meat in it. So basically, I'll just take like as much as I think I need, and I'll put it on a plate, and I'll also take like a handful of almonds, and that will be my lunch. I know it sounds sort of depressing, but to be honest, it hits the spot, and you know you're eating pretty healthy as far as Oscar Mayer goes, at least. So after that, I will wait till around 7 o'clock to eat dinner, and for dinner, what I usually do is I'll get Johnsonville smoked brat sausages, which comes with like 6 in a package, and I'll eat 2 for every dinner. So I'll eat 2 of those, and I'll also have a salad on the side. Now, one thing you got to worry about is the contents of the salad dressing. Usually the best thing you want to stick with is balsamic vinegar. You want to avoid sugar and anything with like ranch, anything that has dairy in it. But yeah, I'll just basically take some romaine lettuce, shred it up. You can obviously make a much healthier salad than romaine lettuce, but I'll eat 2 of those Johnsonville sausages. They taste really good. That's why I like them. Usually I'm not big on sausages or hot dogs and stuff like that, but those Johnsonville, you got to get smoked brat, because I've had the other flavors and they're god awful, but the smoked brat are really, really tasty. And then I'll also have like just a bunch of shredded romaine lettuce in a bowl with some balsamic vinegar. Now, since those sausages only come with 6 links, and that's 3 days for me, that still leaves 3 more days. So usually I will get like a couple of cans of chili with no beans, because I hate beans. By the way, this diet is incredibly big on beans and legumes. He stresses that a lot in the books. I cannot eat beans. I hate beans so much, any type of bean. So I never did that, and I still lost weight. But if you like beans, you want to look into the diet more, because he talks a lot about eating legumes. So yeah, I'll eat the sausages like 3 days out of the 6 days, and then I'll eat like maybe 2 cans of chili for the other 2 days, and that leaves 1 more day, and usually I'll just eat like maybe some more turkey and almonds. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about my cheat day schedule, and this is probably going to make a lot of people happy, because you might be thinking, oh, he says I can eat whatever I want and how much I want, but that's probably not true. I probably can't, eat what my heart truly desires. No, I'm going to run through what I eat every single Saturday, and you guys are probably going to be amazed how much I eat. So when I started the diet, I thought of the cheat day as a normal day. By the way, you want to wait 5 days after starting the diet. You can't start it on Monday and then have your cheat day on Tuesday. We all know that's literally cheating. And by the way, just in case this is not clear, this is what he says to do in the book, and he says that if you do not do this, you will not have as good weight loss results. So trust me, this is 100% fine. So yeah, when I started the diet, I used to think of it as, okay, it's a day. So I go to bed Friday, I wake up Saturday, and that begins my cheat day. I can eat until midnight when it turns into Sunday, right? But at a certain point, I was like, screw this. I'm going to make the cheat day midnight Saturday. So, like, you're up all day Friday, it turns midnight, then I start eating. And, I continue that until midnight where it turns to Sunday. So basically, it's 24 hours, anything goes for me. That's how I do it. So this is what I do. And I made it Saturday because obviously you're more inclined to go out during the weekends and there's just better eating opportunities. So Friday, I go food shopping and I buy like the size below the party size of Doritos. Usually it's Doritos. I'll switch it up depending on what I want. I will also buy 3 bottles of soda, and the reason I buy bottles is because they put cane sugar in the bottles, whereas, if I were to buy like normal things of like a 2 liter of Coke or something, it would not taste nearly as good. So 3 bottles of soda, the Doritos, and then I'll also buy a pint of Ben & Jerry's. That's all in preparation. At midnight, not at midnight, at like 11:40, I go to McDonald's. See, I have this all planned because I've been doing this for so long. At 11:40, I drive to McDonald's and I get a large fry, a McDouble, a Ranch Crispy Snack Wrap, and a crispy chicken sandwich, whatever they're called. So I'll go home and I'll eat all that stuff, and then I'll also eat like maybe half the bag of Doritos. And keep in mind, this is like, a decent sized bag of Doritos. It's the one down from like, the party size. And I'll also eat like half of the ice cream and I'll drink one of the sodas. Then by that time, I am feeling pretty damn full, so I'll go to bed or whatever when I'm ready. When I wake up, I'll wait till I'm hungry, which is usually around 10 to 11. No, it's usually around like 11 to 12. I'll go get Chinese because I absolutely love Chinese. I'm a Chinese fiend. I don't like using that terminology. That sounds like something like a middle-aged mother would use. I'm a chocolate fiend. I'll wait till around 11 or 12 when I'm hungry and I'll order Chinese. What I always get is sweet and sour chicken, which comes with pork fried rice, the sweet and sour sauce, the sweet and sour chicken, right? Yeah. Sweet and sour chicken comes with pork fried rice, sweet and sour sauce, wonton soup, an egg roll, and a fortune cookie. I will eat all of that literally in one sitting. I'll go on to eat some more Doritos and I'll drink a soda with it as well. Anytime during this day, I'm finishing the rest of the ice cream and the chips. They're basically just bonuses to the cheat day. Sorry, not cheap day. It's not cheap. And then finally for dinner, I have a couple options. If I'm feeling like pizza, I'll go to Little Caesars and get like a $5 pizza and just eat the whole thing. I mean, it's pretty big for $5. I can also go to like Wendy's, which is just like right across the street from me, and just get like a Baconator combo, or I'll go to like Taco Bell and just get a whole bunch of like $7 worth of food. So you can see why I was like 300 pounds, right? I mean, I overeat and binge eat a lot, and this is why this diet works perfectly for me, because it allows me to do so while also losing weight. I'm not going to go too much into it, why it helps you lose weight. Basically, from what I understand, your body's so used to eating these small meals every day and this very low calorie intake, and then one day it just spikes up like crazy with all this cheat stuff, and then your body has to go into like overdrive to burn off all this stuff, and that's why it ends up helping you lose weight. Now, you will look bloated and you will look like you've gained weight for maybe like that day and 2 more days after that, but it will go away like after that, trust me. I mean, that just happens. You just look bloated because you're eating, a bunch of bad crap. So next I wanted to talk about exercise. Obviously exercise is healthy, and I don't want to tell anyone not to exercise because that's dumb, but me personally, I've always been really averted to exercise. I'm just not an athletic person really naturally. I'm very I have a lot of energy and I like to move around a lot, but I don't like to, run. I don't like to lift weights or anything like that unless I have made a plan and that's my goal to do so when I go to the gym or whatever. But naturally as a person, I'm just, opposed to exercising. Not as a belief, just I don't really like doing it too much. The thing with this diet is you don't have to exercise at all. In fact, those 2 years, hopefully I'm going to show the picture when I was at my heaviest and show the picture when I was at my lightest. When I was at my lightest, I hadn't been exercising at all for like those 2 years that I was doing the diet. So you don't have to exercise at all if you want to. Obviously, if you do, it'll help out, but I never found it a necessity at all. So believe me, I know this video was long. there's no really getting around it, just because I want to get all this information out there, or else it's not going to work for you guys. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, I just wanted to run through quickly everything that I said, just really fast, because I know it can be a pain trying to go back and re-listen to the stuff. So, eat 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up. I eat 20. But you can eat 30 if you're able to do so. No grains, carbs, dairy, fruit, or sugar. Again, carbs is sort of different because there's carbs in a bunch of stuff. You just don't want to outright go for carbs like pasta and bread and anything like that. None of that stuff you're allowed to eat if you're going to follow this diet legit. And sugar is the one thing, like I said, I will sort of look the other way. But that's usually only if I'm cooking chicken or something and I need to put teriyaki sauce on it, because I just can't stand like just seasoned chicken or something. So it's usually only for sauces. I won't even do that for salads. I will avoid any salad dressing with a lot of sugar in it or anything like that. And just others in like barbecue sauce, and when you get like a meal at a restaurant and it has a glaze or something, I don't want to be like, oh, can you take this back? I can't eat this tiny amount of sugar. That's the only times I will allow sugar. The other thing is, because I really like going to bars and I like trying different beers, I love Old Chicago because they always have like a revolving set of taps and stuff. I have always continued to drink beer, even though you're not supposed to. In the book, he says that the only alcohol you can have is like maybe 1 to 2 glasses of red wine a night. Never really been a wine person. I've been a huge beer person, so that was the one thing from the get-go that I always allowed myself was beer. So if you want to do that, that's up to you. Eat the same small meals every day. You can go to 4 meals if you want. 3 works for me, even though they are still small meals. But yeah, you want to eat the same stuff every day pretty much. Maybe switch it up 1 or 2 days for a couple meals or something like that. Drink 2 cups of water before every meal. That's something I added. That wasn't in the book, so you can do that if you want. Drinking water is obviously good for you. And have a cheat day once a week, and do not feel guilty, because you can go ahead and buy the book and read it. He will tell you exactly what I told you. You can eat as much as you want and whatever you want that entire day. So that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it took me 3 tries, 1 for a week, 1 for a month, and then the last one stuck, to really have the motivation to do this. It can be extremely hard in the beginning. I know, trust me, I love bread and cheese as much as the other guy, as much as anyone else, I mean. But I was just so motivated. I knew that it would just be a slippery slope. I would just be getting bigger and bigger and bigger if I continued down that path, and I definitely was not going to allow myself to do that. So finally, the 3rd time I tried the diet, it stuck, and I've been on it for over 2 years. Recently, I've been experimenting with going off of it, and I've come to the realization that to be happiest in my life, I need to continue to be on this meal plan. And, it may suck for the first couple of days in the week. Even now for me, like going through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, not being able to eat any of this stuff, but the cheat day makes it all worth it. I love food. I love binge eating, and this allows me to do that while also being sort of healthy. So the last and final thing I'm going to say is, trust me, there is absolutely no feeling greater than losing like 100 pounds, being fat your entire life like I was, losing all of that weight, looking at yourself in a picture, the picture I'm going to show with the guy that looks like Dave Grohl, and realizing, holy crap, this entire time I've been struggling to, be normal or be at a normal weight, and now I've finally achieved that. And just the rush of self-confidence, this is just what happened to me. The rush of self-confidence that comes back is insane, and it just improved my life so much. And obviously this is obvious, like obviously if you lose the weight you're gonna feel better, but it's the best thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life. And to anyone that is gonna take this serious and try and do this, I wish the absolute best of luck to you. I will answer any comment that you guys leave in the comment section below. I really truly am making this video to hopefully make a difference in someone's life. Again, this diet might not work for everybody, but it worked for me, and that's all I can say. Thanks for watching this episode of Sup Saturdays, ladies and gentlemen. I really want to stress, if you have any questions at all, please ask them below, and I will answer them. And to anyone doing this, I wish you the best of luck, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.